State of New California. Notice to all Californians. Chapter 2, Grievance 49, March 30th, 2020. New California is a new state in development, exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Sections 3 and 4. Quote, "We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States." End quote. New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, quote, "Whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security." End quote. Preamble of the New California State Constitution states, "We, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity." The First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, quote, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." End quote. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." The counties of New California State brought forward 95 Chapter 1 grievances between January 2018 and November 2019. On April 28, 2020, New California will issue 95 additional Chapter 2 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. State of New California Grievance Number 49. Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a mono-party system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government violates the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. Quote, "The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence." End quote. United States Constitution, Article 6. "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding." First Amendment, United States Constitution. Quote, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." End quote. The 14th Amendment, United States Constitution, Section 3. "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Order of the day. The end. The end of California's legislature. The following is a partial list of the nearly 3,000 bills taken up by the California legislature during the last year. Bill that would end virginity testing in California introduced to the Assembly. Jaywalking decriminalization bill introduced in the Assembly. Legislation to prohibit business charging different price for similar goods based on gender. Senate Democrats kill bill to hold fentanyl drug dealers accountable with, quote, implied malice, end quote. Bill to help prevent future inmate unemployment fraud passes Senate committee. New state bill would limit emergency powers of governor, state agencies. That one failed. Bill to require state and local government open meetings to include call-in or online option. AB 286 would limit food delivery fees to 15% of the purchase price. California lawmaker calling on Twitter and Facebook to ban vaccine activist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. New bill would stop state prison employees from transferring immigrant criminals to ICE custody. California Senate suspends 30-day in-print rule that denies to the public to review the bill. Legislation prohibits employers from, quote, discriminating, end quote, against job applicant for positive marijuana test. Wage liens against employer could be secured through property lien. California legislators finally agree upon school reopening plan and $6.5 billion price tag. New California bill to require gender-neutral retail departments. In 1966, the California voters approved Proposition 1, which changed the California Constitution to allow an 11-month legislative cycle each and every year. This created a runaway legislative body and knows nothing but creating law after law in order to which justify their existence. It doesn't matter if the law addresses any real issues, just if a law justifies their taking home a paycheck and growing an oppressive state. Keep in mind that over the last year of the COVID, quote, crisis, end quote, the legislature and their bureaucratic staffers have been getting paychecks each and every month. Some earn over $400,000 each year, while failing to address any meaningful issues created by a dictator governor to solve California's problems. Note, on March 4th, 2020, the California state eagerly allowed the governor to assume dictatorial powers of the legislature and hence the entire state. To date, the legislature is not eager to rescind the governor's dictatorial powers. In Grievance 48, Chapter 2, Nazine H. Barma is an assistant professor of national security affairs, Naval Postgraduate School, Monterey, New California, and director Bridging the Gap Project, contributed an article on, quote, failed state to SAGE Publications for Encyclopedia Britannica. She wrote the following about failed state. Quote, it cannot formulate or implement public policies to effectively build infrastructure and deliver services or effective and equitable economic policies. In addition, it cannot provide for the representation and political empowerment of its citizens or protect civil liberties and fundamental human rights. Thus, state failure manifests itself when a state can no longer deliver physical security, a productive economic environment, and a stable political system for its people, end quote. New Californians are experiencing the, quote, failed state environment, end quote. We must not wait to, quote, pick up the pieces, end quote, but rather position ourselves for what we know is coming. California is headed for collapse as a state in just a few short months, as its trajectory is now set in stone by a pusillanimous, craven dictator who chooses to violate both federal and state laws while ignoring the original constitutional structure set forth by the founding fathers of the United States. Not ignored in New California State, the founding fathers are alive and well today, living in the hearts and minds of all new Californians. New California State's place in history as the 51st state in the Union is assured. Thank you, founding fathers. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist, governor-dictator, and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of secession. The California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor-dictator has usurped power, has actively engaged in acts of secession and have created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America, to thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor-dictator of California, the monoparty legislature, and the local elected officials is evidence of, quote, abdication of the responsibilities of authority and sovereignty, end quote, over the citizens of the United States living in California State. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the military to exercise its authority under the continuity of government and the Insurrection Act of 1807 to initiate the military's use of martial law and create the restored government of California, as requested by New California State, to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States of America. This concludes these proceedings. Website, newcaliforniastate.com or ncs51.com. Phone number 877-828-2753.